Hey, be honest with me.
Always. Unfortunately.
When was the last time you looked at someone else's life, their job, their body, their relationship, their success, and felt worse about your own?
This morning, actually, I saw someone's post on Instagram and immediately felt like I was behind in life.
And how long did that feeling last?
Most of the morning, honestly. It kind of colored everything.
One post from someone you probably do not even know well, and it affected your whole morning.
When you say it like that, it sounds a little crazy.
It is not crazy. It is incredibly human, but it is also incredibly destructive. And today, we are talking about exactly that.
Oh, this one is personal for me already.
For everyone. Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Mia.
And I'm Simon, and today we're talking about something that is quietly making millions of people miserable every single day: comparison.
Why we do it, what it does to us, and most importantly, how to stop letting it run our lives.
And hey, if you're new here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell right now. New episodes every single day. Simple English, real topics, every week. Okay, let's get into it.
Simon, that Instagram post you saw this morning, what was it?
Someone I went to school with. They just bought a really nice apartment. Big, beautiful, in a great area, and they looked so happy in the photos.
And what did you feel when you saw it?
First, wow, that is amazing. And then immediately, why do I not have that yet? What am I doing wrong? Am I behind? Should I be further along by now?
All of that from one photo.
All of that in about 15 seconds.
And here's the thing, Simon. That person's apartment has absolutely nothing to do with your life. Nothing about their situation changes your situation. Nothing about their timeline affects your timeline.
But it felt like it did.
It felt like it completely did. And that feeling, that irrational but very real feeling, is the comparison trap. And it is one of the most common ways people quietly destroy their own happiness every single day.
And social media makes it so much worse.
So much worse. Because before social media, you compared yourself to maybe the people in your immediate circle, your neighbors, your classmates, the people you actually saw regularly.
But now
You compare yourself to thousands of people simultaneously every single day. People from your school, your city, your country, the whole world. All of them showing their best moments, their highlights, their wins.
And we compare all of that to our own behind the scenes.
To our own messy, ordinary Monday, our own doubts and struggles and unfinished goals. It is the most unfair comparison in the world, and we make it dozens of times a day without even realizing it.
Their highlight reel versus my blooper reel.
Exactly. And that comparison, highlight reel versus blooper reel, will make even the most successful person feel like a failure.
Because nobody posts their bad days, their failures, their doubts, their ordinary Tuesdays.
Nobody. You see the apartment, you do not see the debt that came with it. You see the dream job, you do not see the years of rejection before it. You see the perfect relationship, you do not see the arguments and compromises behind closed doors.
We are comparing to an illusion, not to reality.
An illusion that we built in our own minds from carefully selected images. And then we feel bad that our real, messy, complicated life does not match that illusion.
That's actually a little heartbreaking when you think about it.
Really heartbreaking. And it gets deeper than just social media, because comparison is not just something that happens online. It lives inside us, in our families, in our workplaces, everywhere.
And it has been there long before social media existed.
Long before. And in the next part, we talk about where this instinct actually comes from, because understanding the root of something is the first step to changing it.
Okay, I want to understand this properly.
Stay with us. Simon, here is something that might surprise you.
Okay, surprise me.
Comparison is not a weakness. It is not a character flaw. It is not something wrong with you. It is actually a completely natural human instinct, built into your brain by evolution.
Wait, so we are biologically programmed to compare ourselves to others?
Biologically programmed. Thousands of years ago, humans lived in small tribes, and in those tribes, your position in the group determined everything: your access to food, your safety, your ability to find a partner, your survival.
So knowing where you stood compared to others was literally a matter of life and death.
Life and death. If you were falling behind the group, if others were significantly stronger, more skilled, more valuable to the tribe, that was dangerous. Your brain needed to know, so it constantly monitored, how am I doing compared to the people around me?
So comparison was a survival tool.
A crucial survival tool. And that instinct is still in your brain today, still running, still monitoring, still sending alarm signals when it perceives that someone else is ahead of you.
But now, instead of comparing hunting skills, we're comparing apartments and Instagram followers.
Exactly. The instinct is ancient, but the triggers are completely modern. And the problem is the ancient brain cannot tell the difference. It sees someone with a nicer apartment and it sends the same alarm signal it would have sent thousands of years ago when someone in the tribe was stronger than you.
So my brain genuinely thinks I'm in danger when I see someone's nice apartment on Instagram.
On some level, yes, it feels threatening, like falling behind, like being less valuable, less safe. And that feeling, even though it makes no logical sense in modern life, feels very real in the body.
Which is why it hits so hard, even when we know logically this is just a photo, this does not affect me.
Logically, you know, but emotionally, the ancient brain is already in alarm mode, already comparing, already feeling the threat.
So we're fighting millions of years of evolution every time we try not to compare ourselves.
Every single time. And that is why just telling yourself, stop comparing, never works. You cannot turn off an ancient biological instinct with willpower alone.
You need something deeper than willpower.
Much deeper. And there's something else that feeds comparison, something closer to home than evolution.
What's that?
How we were raised. Because for many people, comparison started very early, at home.
Oh, like parents comparing you to other children.
Why can't you be more like your cousin? Look how well your classmate is doing. Your sister never had this problem. Sound familiar?
Very familiar, actually.
And when you hear those comparisons as a child, from the people whose opinion matters most to you, your brain learns something very powerful. Your value depends on how you measure up to others.
So comparison becomes connected to self-worth from a very young age.
From a very young age. And that connection between comparing and feeling worthy, it follows people into adulthood, into every relationship, every workplace, every time they open social media.
So when I feel bad after seeing that apartment, it's not just about the apartment.
It's about every time someone told you you are not enough compared to someone else. All of that history, activated by one Instagram post.
That's actually really deep and really sad.
And really common. Most people are walking around carrying years of comparison wounds, and every time they see someone doing better, those wounds open again.
And they don't even realize that's what's happening.
They just feel bad. They just feel behind. They just feel like they are not enough without understanding why.
And understanding why is the beginning of changing it.
The beginning of everything. And in the next part, we talk about exactly what comparison does to your life, because the damage goes so much deeper than just feeling bad for a morning.
It affects more than just your mood, doesn't it?
So much more.
Simon, I want to ask you something that might be uncomfortable.
When is it ever comfortable with you? Okay, go ahead.
Is there something you stopped doing or never even started because you compared yourself to someone who was already really good at it?
Yes. Actually, yes, I always wanted to learn guitar, but I had a friend who was already amazing at it, and every time I thought about starting, I thought, I will never be as good as him. So what is the point?
And did you ever learn guitar?
Never started. Still have not. And I genuinely love music.
So comparison stole something from you, something you actually wanted, something that could have brought you real joy.
When you say it like that, yeah, it did.
And that is one of the most painful things comparison does. It does not just make you feel bad in the moment, it actually stops you from living your life fully, from trying things, from starting things, from becoming who you could actually be.
Because why start if someone is already better?
And that thinking, that why bother if I cannot be the best thinking, kills so many dreams before they even begin. Because here's the truth. You do not have to be the best at something for it to be worth doing. You just have to want to do it.
But comparison makes everything feel like a competition. And if you cannot win, why enter?
And life is not a competition. That is the biggest lie comparison tells you. Life is not a race where only the person who arrives first wins. There's no finish line where someone hands out the prizes for best life lived.
But comparison makes it feel exactly like that.
Exactly like that. And here's another thing comparison does. It makes you ungrateful for what you actually have.
Oh, yes. This one I really feel.
Because before you saw the apartment, how did you feel about where you live?
Honestly, fine. I like my place. It's comfortable. It works for me.
And after you saw the apartment?
Suddenly, my place felt small, not enough, like something I should be embarrassed about.
Nothing changed about your home, not one thing, but comparison made it feel completely different.
It took something I was happy with and made it feel like a problem.
Comparison is a happiness thief. It does not steal your things, it steals your satisfaction with your things. It takes something good and makes it feel not enough, every single time.
And that's exhausting, because there will always be someone with more, always someone ahead, always something better to compare to.
Always, which means if you live by comparison, you can never win. The game never ends. There's always another level, another person doing better, another reason to feel behind.
So, comparison is a game you literally cannot win.
Cannot win, and yet we keep playing it every day, dozens of times, and it costs us so much. Our joy, our motivation, our creativity, our relationships.
Relationships, too?
Comparison destroys relationships because when you're always measuring yourself against others, you start resenting the people who are ahead of you, even people you love, even your friends.
You feel happy for them, but also somehow worse about yourself at the same time.
That complicated feeling, happiness mixed with inadequacy, is one of the most common emotional experiences of our generation, and it comes almost entirely from comparison.
So, comparison makes us ungrateful, stops us from trying things, makes us resent people we love, and keeps us in a game we can never win.
And leaves us exhausted and empty at the end of every day, wondering why we don't feel happy even when nothing is technically wrong.
Because something is wrong. We're measuring our life against the wrong thing.
Against everyone else's life, instead of against our own potential, our own values, our own definition of a good life.
And that shift, from comparing to others to comparing to yourself, that's everything, isn't it?
That is the whole answer. And in the next part, we talk about exactly how to make that shift.
I really need this part. Genuinely.
Simon, we have established that comparison is natural, that it comes from evolution and childhood, that it steals our joy and our dreams and our relationships. So now, the real question.
How do we actually stop?
How do we actually stop? And I want to be honest, you probably cannot stop completely, because remember, it is a biological instinct. It will always be there to some degree.
So the goal is not to never compare again.
The goal is to stop letting comparison drive your decisions. Stop letting it determine how you feel about yourself. Stop letting it steal your joy every morning before you even get out of bed.
Okay, so how do we do that? First thing?
Catch it when it happens.
Just notice it?
Just notice it, because most of the time, comparison happens automatically, unconsciously. You see something, you feel bad, you move on, without ever stopping to say, wait, what just happened there?
So the first step is just becoming aware of it.
Aware of it in real time. The moment you feel that familiar sinking feeling, that I'm behind feeling, stop, name it, say to yourself, I am comparing right now. I am doing the thing.
And naming it takes away some of its power?
So much power, because when something is unconscious, it controls you. but the moment you bring it into your awareness, you create a tiny gap between the trigger and your reaction. And in that gap, you have a choice.
To react automatically or to respond consciously?
To respond consciously. Second thing,
What is number 2?
remind yourself what you are actually seeing.
The highlight reel thing.
Every single time. When you see something that triggers comparison, remind yourself, this is one moment, one carefully chosen image, one version of this person's life that they decided to share publicly. This is not the whole picture.
Behind every perfect photo, there is a full, complicated, messy real life.
A full, messy, real life, just like yours, just like mine. Nobody's life looks like their Instagram. Nobody's. And the moment you remember that, the comparison loses its grip.
Because you're no longer comparing to something real. You're comparing to a performance.
A performance, and performing is exhausting, and nobody can keep it up all the time. Third thing,
Go ahead.
compare yourself to yourself, not to anyone else.
Your only competition is who you were yesterday.
Your only real competition, because that is the only comparison that actually gives you useful information. Am I learning more than I was last year? Am I healthier than I was 6 months ago? Am I kinder, more patient, more focused than I was before?
Those questions actually tell you something meaningful about your growth.
Meaningful. But am I doing better than that person I went to school with? That tells you nothing useful, because their path has nothing to do with yours. Their timeline is not your timeline. Their definition of success is not your definition.
We are all running completely different races.
Completely different races, on completely different tracks, with completely different finishing lines. And the moment you stop watching other people's races, you can finally focus on running your own.
And run it so much better.
So much better. Fourth thing,
Last one?
curate what you consume.
The social media thing.
Yes, because if comparison is triggered by what you see, then what you choose to see matters enormously. Go through your social media right now and ask, does following this person make me feel inspired, or does it consistently make me feel bad about myself?
And if it consistently makes me feel bad,
Unfollow without guilt. You are not being mean. You are being responsible with your own mental health. Your feed is something you can design. Fill it with things that genuinely inspire you, that genuinely add something to your life, instead of things that just make you feel behind every morning.
behind before the day even starts.
And one more thing, spend less time on social media overall. We talked about this in our scrolling episode. The less you consume, the less ammunition your comparison brain has to work with.
Remove the trigger, reduce the reaction.
Exactly. So, catch it when it happens, remember what you are really seeing, compare to yourself only, and curate what you consume. 4 things, simple but genuinely powerful.
Simple, but not easy.
Never easy, but absolutely worth it. And in our final part, we talk about what life actually starts to look like when you stop living by comparison.
Because I think people need to know what they're working toward.
They need to see the other side, and it is beautiful. Simon, I want to paint you a picture.
With words again?
With words again. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, you pick up your phone, you see someone's amazing holiday photos, someone's promotion announcement, someone's beautiful new home.
And normally, I feel that sinking feeling immediately.
But this time, you notice it, you name it, you remind yourself, that is their story, not mine. And then you put the phone down and you think about your own day, your own goals, your own life.
And the sinking feeling just does not take over.
Does not take over. It might flicker, it might appear for a moment, but it does not color your whole morning, does not follow you through your whole day, because you did not let it in.
That sounds so peaceful, honestly.
It is peaceful, And that peace, that is what life feels like when you stop living by comparison. And it changes so many things. First, you get your energy back.
Because comparison is exhausting, constantly monitoring, constantly measuring, constantly feeling behind.
It takes so much mental energy, energy that could be going toward your actual goals, your actual life. And when you stop spending that energy on comparison, suddenly you have so much more of it for the things that actually matter.
You stop watching other people's races and start running your own.
And running your own race feels completely different because suddenly you are not behind. You cannot be behind on your own path. There is no behind. There is just where you are right now and where you're going.
And where you're going is something you get to decide, not something determined by what everyone else is doing.
You decide. And second, your relationships get better.
Because you stop resenting people who are doing well.
When you are no longer comparing, other people's success genuinely stops feeling like a threat, and you can actually be happy for them, really happy, without that complicated mixture of happiness and inadequacy.
Just pure happiness for someone you care about.
Pure happiness. And that changes how your friendships feel, how your family relationships feel. Everything becomes warmer, more genuine, more connected.
Because you're actually present with people, not constantly measuring yourself against them.
Not measuring, just being. And third, you start doing things you stopped yourself from doing.
Like learning guitar.
Like learning guitar, because the voice that said, "Why bother if you cannot be the best?" gets quieter, and in its place, a different voice, one that says, "I want to do this, not to be better than anyone, just because I want to, just because it brings me joy."
And joy is enough of a reason.
Joy is always enough of a reason. You do not need to be the best. You do not need to impress anyone. You just need to want it. And that's enough to begin.
That is such a freeing thought.
So freeing. And fourth, and maybe the most important change of all,
What is it?
you start actually liking your own life.
Wow.
Not because everything is perfect, not because you have achieved everything you want, but because you're measuring it against the right thing, against your own values, your own growth, your own definition of what a good life looks like. And when you do that, you start to see how much you already have, how far you have already come, how much is already good right now in this ordinary life of yours.
The life that used to feel not enough suddenly feels like enough.
More than enough, because it was always enough. Comparison just made it invisible.
Comparison was the thing blocking the view.
Blocking the view of your own beautiful, ordinary life. And when you remove it, even a little, you can finally see what was there all along.
I genuinely needed this episode today. Like, personally needed it.
Me too, Simon, me too. Okay, homework. You know what it is.
One thing. Always one thing.
One thing. Today, go to your social media, find one account that consistently makes you feel bad about yourself. Not inspired, not motivated, bad. And unfollow it. Just one, right now, after this episode.
One unfollow. That's it. One small act of protecting your own peace.
One small act of choosing yourself over comparison. And notice how it feels, because I think it will feel better than you expect.
And hey everyone, drop a comment below. Tell us, do you struggle with comparison? When does it hit you the hardest? We genuinely want to know.
We read every single comment, and this is a safe space, so be honest. We're all in this together. And if this episode helped you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it, someone who's quietly destroying their own happiness by comparing themselves to everyone around them.
Just send them the link. No explanation needed. Just send it. They'll understand why.
And please like this video. It helps so many more people find us. And if you're not subscribed yet,
Come on, hit that button right now. New episodes every single week. You don't want to miss what's coming next.
all right, everyone, that's a wrap on today's episode. Thank you so much for being here, for being honest with us, and for choosing to work on this. It takes courage.
Take care of yourselves, everyone.
Stop watching other people's races. Run your own. And remember, the only person you need to be better than is who you were yesterday. Bye, everyone.
See you next day.